Hey everybody, Charlie 902 here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we were cross-examining a couple witnesses, and we had to pressure them. Let's see what happens. Kazuma. The very day of the incident. Ouchie. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. That's right, so we found in the victim's jacket a doctor's visit, kind of receipt from 12 to, I think 1300. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? I hope I'm saying that right. Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? Yeah, submit it.
Yes!
Yes! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's motives prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up for us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Tisk. Dude's sweating now, look at that. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Well, you don't believe in rights? Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. The victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record. All right, let's look at it. A medical report card from Hata Clinic that was found in the victim's pocket. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. But it's the day after the festival already for you. Is that a saying that I'm not familiar with? Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korakuda-san. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. Let's look at... If we go to present, we can look at stuff, right? Yeah, we can come back. Medical report card. Let's, oh, we can't look at it closer? We can't examine it. We can examine this. Why is this evidence? Alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. How do we go back? History? It doesn't bring this testimony back up. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Did we? Are you talking about the... Okay, so it was continuing the examination after we got them to give us the medical clues. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. We probably have to examine it. It wouldn't let us do it before. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. You think? How exactly? By pressing the examine button. That's exactly what he's going to tell us. You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use up, down, left, right. Oh, to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. Okay, I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know we could rotate. By using WASD, that's how we move the magnifying glass around. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. I imagine with a controller, this is probably analog sticks. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, that means we found something. Press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. All right, let's do it. Medical report card. Okay. It's not letting me do it right now. See if there isn't something new to be learnt by examining it in more detail. All right, I'll see what I can do. I need to use WSD and arrow keys and space to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. Okay, so it's going straight into it. All right, let's try the controls here. That's WASD. This is how to turn it. Date. What do we do? Do we hit space? Yep. Looks like this metal report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. You can't imagine going to a doctor? What's wrong with you? Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine. They give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. A bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. All right, so let's look around some more. So this is the date. We've already looked at that. This is some form of seal. Can we, yeah, can we open it? Here we go. All right, let's look at the latest one. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar. So he wouldn't been able to eat a steak. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated in the court record. A record of dental work on the day of the murder. The victim had undergone dental treatment and had been prohibited from eating or drinking anything but water. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. What's up with his baby? Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed there was only one person present. Is this the one that we're gonna present on? Yeah, let's try it on this one. Present. Present the medical report card.
Yes.
That statement is clearly odd. What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself. Okay, so I get it during the wrong time. Oh, pay no attention. As you wish. Now kindly lower your hand. Okay, so that was wrong. Never, not until I've proven that I'm innocent here. Can I go back and forth? Like, it looks like I should be able to go back. It shows over here on the left-hand side a back, but when I click it, it just goes forward. Maybe if I use the other mouse click? Nope. Pointing his gun at foreign man. Oh yeah, okay, so right click brings this back. Okay, now that I know that, I can actually look through. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. He couldn't have been dining. All right, this is where we present it. Let's try it now. All right, present.
Yes.
Music stopped. Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryu, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. Is it Kazuma or Kazuma? Probably Kazuma, right? I could see it quite clearly in the cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. All right, and thanks for the advice. Korakuda-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And? I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. So dude slammed his hands down and then he like looked at his hands like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Objection!
Dear me, have you forgotten my word so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But, let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered in the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that is completely irrelevant. No, it's not. But that's... Remember, Ryu, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimony the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there's no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the murder. There you go, put his hands down. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. Such drama. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating, just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours, post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Korakuda-san. What, boy, what? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., The victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Okay, he got blown back. Expertly done, partner. I love the drama. I love the over-the-top drama that's going on here. The old man Bell got blown out of his stand.
Objection!
What is this nonsense? You little upstart. These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Yeah, with pieces removed.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. I got it. Dad joke. Wouldn't you agree, Ryu? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? Why don't you just call it steak? Why do you call it beefsteak? Gavel time. The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Just say yes. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? All right, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... It's not the victim. It's not me. It's not the two witnesses. It's a as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it could only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Whoa! Y'all gonna destroy this table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. Ugh. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma. Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. That's lying under oath. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Whoa, okay. Complicit in murder? No! What does that say? Hold? Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. What tactical meeting? I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. Is that a phrase, gentlewoman? I've never heard that. Just say you've never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Who's they? Oh. What? What did you just say, Korakuda-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now, hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman? Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all of this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one. Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order, order. Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. The little kid is pulling on his mustache. That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryu, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone of considerable influence. I agree. However, I don't believe Alchi had any idea about it. I don't think he did either. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could have only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas of who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name who it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. My guess is the military, but I want to find some evidence on that. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Exactly. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Business card, huh? Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. Can we just go ahead and do this now? Yeah, we can. Okay. I want to look at this. All right, see, there's already like... This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. Now, we've already proven that that is false, because if he was here, there would be no way that there would be tables over here. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Exactly, and that's not all. Look here in the upper left where it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. See, this is going to be lost in translation for me. Could have wrote it after the fact, right? You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryu. Okay. Whoop. This is all the same, right? Yeah, so we have to turn it. It says entrance, it says kitchen. Let's turn it around. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Okay, so it's the police. All right, let's look at it. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga? Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here, the waiter's business card information has been updated in the court records. On the front, it stated that Hosonaga-san is police inspector. Okay. And I believe that's all we can do with this, right? Just the front and the back. Yeah. Let's go back. And let's look at everything else. This is the post-mortem report. Can we can't do the movie aroundy thing with that. What about the picture? It's only the magnifying glass is the only thing we can move. I don't think that's relevant in this. Yeah, hit back. I think the police thing is what we're meant to find. Swear to every Shinto god he had no idea about any of this. I knew nothing. And what does events have to say about all this, huh? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witness is... Well, it's not him. It's not Kazuma. It's not Tadetsuchi. It's not him. He's dead. These are the witnesses, so it has to be Satoru Hosonaga. We're going to present that.
Yes.
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For one, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryu. Time to hit this court with the truth. All right, we dropping truth bombs now. Let's do it. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence. The business card. Present. That is, well, we'll just click it.
Yes.
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, it's the back of the card. It's the back of the back. It's the back of the card that's interest, which would be the front of the card. I beg your pardon? Perhaps you have said the front? Just flip it over. It's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say. Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. It's a hell of a title. What? Then the waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hold. Uh-oh, he bust up in the doorway. Inspector Hosonaga. And we're going to leave you with this cliffhanger right here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode where we find out what Inspector Hosonaga has to say. See you then. Bye-bye.